Welcome back! Today I want to look at Psychonauts, which is a game that's also included in the Humble Bundle 5, and I'll talk more about that later. First thing I'm doing here is I'm actually doing a puzzle, kind of a puzzle challenge where you have to knock down these targets before the time runs out. The goal is to get a certain number of points. I believe it's 20 before the time runs out. You got a minute to do it. So basically you have to hit a bunch of these and get those points. And this game is filled with a lot of puzzles and challenges like this. Is kind of the theme of the game. There's a lot of jumping puzzles, which some people hate, some people enjoy. I don't mind them too much, except when they get to the point where they're almost near impossible. So this, I don't mind this type of puzzle where you're knocking down the signs. But this game is full of that kind of stuff, and I think this game is pretty innovative. It's got a great story. The art is very stylized, and you know, of course, everything's voice recorded. It's playing in the background there, the cutscenes. But it's not too bad. And actually, this is the tutorial area. They're kind of just showing you the layout of the game. They have challenges, and then they have certain things in people's minds, which I like the idea that you're like a psycho warrior, meaning psycho not in terms of crazy, but actually psych, like as in psych, like you're able to actually get into people's mind like a psychic. So in this case, this guy's got his mind in a vault. he's got memories holed up in a vault. Other places in the game, you'll actually see that they have emotional baggage that you have to find the tags for to get into. So it's kind of neat and unique in that way in terms of the story. The puzzle I'm doing right now, this next one is kind of a you avoid the gunfire while you hide behind walls kind of challenge. You ignore the little teleport guy; that's not important. But you see these walls, and you have to actually. There's a luggage tag I just got, hatbox tag, and I just died. But you knock down these walls and go behind other walls. So it's kind of like a platformer, jumping puzzle type game. Now, like I said, some people hate that. You know, I'm collecting little objects too. These figments, they're called. They're figments of his imagination. Picking those up as well. So like I said, the theme of being like the mind warrior is kind of neat. I like that. And there I get to use the tag on that hatbox bag. So, and then you unlock achievements for that. You unlock levels. You unlock new powers, new psychic powers that you then have. So it's a great game. Like I was saying before, it's part of the Humble Bundle 5, which includes other games like Limbo, Bastion, Amnesia, Super Brothers, Sword and Sorcery. I have a review up for Limbo and a review up for Bastion. Actually, the review for Limbo is not up yet, but maybe by the time you watch this video it will be. And I suggest you watch them, although I would just say go ahead and buy the Humble Bundle 5. You can set your price on the Humble Bundle, and you know, as low as a penny, you could have this game and the other games, plus their soundtrack, so you really don't have anything to lose. And this game's quite a bit of fun. I'm not a huge fan of jumping puzzles, but I think this one's unique in that it was made by a great developer who's actually just finished a Kickstarter for money for his next game, but it's Tim Schafer. He was heavily involved in games like Grim Fandango, which is a classic in its own right. You can see I'm having some trouble with this, and most people probably wouldn't, but I have trouble trying to do these jumping puzzle things, especially on this Xbox 360 controller, which is something I'm not as entirely used to as a keyboard and mouse, so bear with me here. Really kind of a fun game. The storyline is well done. It's kind of a quirky storyline. You get a bunch of kids who are psychic, and they're in this psychic camp. I haven't gotten past the part where you're in training, but so far it's pretty interesting. And there I've beaten the turret. So let's take a look here. If I can just get up there and get the little hatbox tag, duffel bag, pet tag. And I was a little confused here when I was playing it. I'm actually recording it after the fact. I didn't realize that you could actually just go and jump into the thing. So I'm kind of looking around here. This is, I think, one complaint I have about games like this. This is not, and maybe it's just me, but it's not entirely intuitive as to where you go next sometimes. And that frustrates me a little bit because maybe I've gotten too lax in terms of my gameplay, and I'm used to these new games where everything's kind of handed to you. Now this is the menu that has all the items in it that you've collected, you know, kind of your inventory, your achievements, tasks that you're working on, so your quests, your memories that you've unlocked, your mental vault, and your map, of course. Probably not too important, but like I was saying, I'm used to these new games where everything's kind of handed to you, and I have a little bit of a patience problem with the old games where you die every 5 seconds, and you know, we all used to play those games, Super Mario Brothers and all that, and they were frustrating at the time, but we just don't remember it. So anyway, so this is, I finally figured out that you had to hit the top of this head and go down into it. I didn't know that. So that right there is probably a downside to a game like this. And again, if you look at reviews online, you'll see that that's a complaint many people have about this game. They love the game. A lot of people love the game. It's great for what it is, but there are some jumping puzzles, a little bit of confusion on where to go next that seem almost unnecessary, that they could have made it a little clearer, because you just want to get through the storyline. And this next part is a great example of that. This is a jumping puzzle that I had a lot of trouble with, where you have to jump on these bars that are sticking out. They're like gun turrets that are sticking out of the wall. You have to swing on them and jump up and down until you get to the top. And for me, someone like me, it was very difficult using the controller, and I didn't know you could flip around the other direction at first. So this is where I'm going to end the video. I still think you should pick up the Humble Bundle. I'm not trying to downplay Psychonauts. I like the game. It's just not my type of game. I think if you're into jumping puzzles, this is probably the game for you, because you can see how there I've fallen off the cliff. Oh God, yeah. So you can see why I get frustrated because of how terrible I am at games like this. But if you're not terrible at platformers like I am, and jumping puzzle games, then this may be the game for you. If you were an expert at Super Mario Brothers and the 3D version of Super Mario Brothers in particular, Super Mario Galaxy, if you love that game, then I think Psychonauts is a great game. In fact, in many ways, I think Psychonauts is better than Super Mario Galaxy and, you know, the Super Mario on the Nintendo 64. This one has a rich story, and it's very quirky and fun, and lots of powers you can do and that sort of thing. But it's got the same gameplay style as those type of 3D games. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up my review. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you next time. This is CerealSnax out.